صباح جميعا, and welcome to the fifth video in the third workshop. And to iterate, we last time put these tubes here at the door, and the objective of this puzzle was to click on these triggers, align these tubes vertically in order for the door to pass and so we can get through. Alright, so let's get to that then. I'm gonna maximize my perspective viewport since I don't need the other viewports now, and I'm gonna set up the matinee, the animations. So, in order to set up animations for static meshes, and we need to click on the certain static mesh. This is the right tube. No, first we need to. First we need to establish the trigger which is going to control the animation, which is this trigger now. I'm going to start off with the right trigger, right click, new object, new event using trigger 10, used. Since we're going to use this trigger now, we're going to press E as an action on the trigger in order to activate it. And we're going to right click, I'm going to select the static mesh now, right click, new matinee, okay? And we're going to, when it's used, we're going to play it, and always remember, kids, we're going to set the max trigger count to 0. Okay, now we're going to go into the matinee, double click on it, and it opens up our animation editor. It's basically the standard. We have another animation editors, we have a timeline, we have, where is it? Okay, sorry. We have a timeline in seconds here. We have keyframes, we have, I always forget what it's called, controller for the keyframes, you know, animation controller, and we have a curve editor here. Now, in order to start, we need to place a new empty group, okay, and we're going to call this empty group right tube, okay. Basically, this is where all the animations will go for that tube. I just named it right tube because it is the right tube, just doesn't point to it, you know, just so that it makes sense. Now, in order to move that trigger, that static mesh, we need to add a new movement track, okay. As you noted, as you see here, you have a lot of options. You have a lot of things you can control in matinee. You can control face effects track, which is a proprietary technology which controls the most of the face bones, you know, to convey realistic emotions. You have anim control track, which controls skeletal meshes, bones. Controls the nodes in the anim tree for the skeletal meshes. You have morph weights. You have a lot of options, but a lot of the times you're going to use the new movement track here. So, right click, new movement track, and now it's set up a keyframe for us for the initial position of this static mesh. Basically, it's telling us that this is the whoopsie daisy. Okay, this is the initial position of the static mesh. In order to make it move, we need to apply a second keyframe and move it. I'm going to demonstrate that here. And the timeline of our animation, our length of our animation is 5 seconds, dictated by these bright orange triangles. See, it's from 0 to 5 seconds. And we're just going to reduce our animation, range of our animation to be 2 seconds. Okay, and forget about this green thing. We're gonna move our black bar here, black controller, to 2 seconds, close to it, and hit enter. And immediately it tells us to adjust key 1. Basically, it's telling us, what do you want to do? What do you want that static mesh to do? And we're gonna tell it what to do now. We're gonna press on the static mesh, right click, and move it, rotate it downwards. Okay, ooh, it's touching the ground. Anyways, doesn't matter. You can just lift it up. Okay, so we moved it. If you slide backwards, you can see that it's now animating. It takes care of, you know, of animating what's in between. You know, you just dictate where you want it to go, and it'll just animate it. Okay. So let's give it a shot here. Let's see if it's working. We right click here, play from here, and voila, it's moving. So we can see the triggers as well. 4, hidden, unhide that, click on the second one, unhide that, so we can see the triggers that we're touching. Okay, since that's set up, let's click on the second trigger, right click, new event using trigger 11, used, max 0 count equal to 0, 0, sorry, that's my Arabic Lebanese coming out. Select the static mesh, new matinee, play. When it's used, we need to play, you know, the matinee. We can set it to different things. When it's used, we reverse it. You know, we'll delve into these things later. And as you can see, it set up a new parameter here. We called right tube. If you remember, we called the new empty group right tube, and it instantiates this static mesh into the group. Alright, so go into the second one. Sorry. Click. We always have the static meshes selected when the appropriate one that we need to animate. When we go into Kismet, add new empty group, left tube, right click, new movement track, and just reduce the range of our animation. I'm just clicking here and moving with my left key, my left button, and just scrolling to zoom in and out. I'm gonna press on this orange triangle and move it to 2 seconds. Okay. Move our controller 2 seconds, enter, and we're gonna rotate it forwards. See if it's working. It's working. It's working. Okay. Now let's see if it's working here. We need to get close to it because I have aim to interact. Now, how do we make it so that when we touch it a second time, it's gonna move again? Okay. And when we click on the matinee and its properties, we have a bunch of properties here. I just want to concentrate on these two. Rewind on replay. If true, sequence will remind itself back to the start each time the play input is activated. Okay? So, if I click on this is the right tube. Right click, and test it out. I'm gonna click, okay, and click again. It starts back, snaps back into place, and plays the same animation. But if I click on reset on rewind as well, if true, when rewinding this interpolation, reset, okay, this allows the next loop of movement to proceed from the current location. So basically, it's not going to go back into its original position, but when it's going to rotate, and we press again, it's going to rotate again, you know, from its current location. So let's try it out. And again, there you go. We have rotating pillars. Set the same thing for the second pillar. Okay, so now we need to press once here, you know, and they're rotated. Yay! God, I just screwed up immensely. They should. Alright, just a sec. Don't freak out. Because it turned out to be way too simple. Okay. Alright, I have an idea. Since this pillar is going downwards, okay, we can make it so that this is another pillar, but it needs to be up. Okay, let's just place another pillar. Replace with. Just press that other pillar. Replace with. Booyah. Sorry. Right click. Replace with. Where is it? Replace with interpactor. Continue. Let's see if. Boy, it's way too big. works now. I just assigned it to this static mesh. Just clicked it, right click on the object here and assign. Okay, so we need this pillar to be up and this pillar to be down, lined vertically, for this door to open. I don't know if you understand what I changed here, because when we tested it out last time, we clicked here, okay, and we clicked here, and it just works. You know, it should open the door. I don't want it to be that simple. I want that static mesh to be upwards, you know, and this one to be downwards. You know, they have to keep guessing and clicking. You know, if I go here and try again, come on, you know, click here. I need to go here again, test it out. You know, it makes it a bit more complicated. So I'm gonna count the number of steps, number of clicks I need to in order to make it vertical, upwards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's 3. Okay. So again, explanation. What do we need to do in order to make them align? This upwards and this downwards. Okay, since it's going there. Okay, we need a compare int. Basically, just the same as before, as Boolean thing. Just the same as the Boolean variables that we changed. We need to set integer values, integer which mean numbers basically, and we need to change those numbers according to the rotational value. Sorry, let me rephrase. We need to change those integers each time we press on the trigger. Okay, so basically we have that puzzle set up. We have all right. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put the variables and I'm gonna explain as I go through this. Okay, I'm just gonna set the triggers. Just also let's forget about the animation now. Unlink that. We're gonna put the animation afterwards. All right. To the math part. We're gonna, when we use this trigger, okay, we need first an integer value, new variable, int, okay. We're gonna name it something. We're gonna name it upper sorry, right pillar. And we need another one, and left pillar. And their value is 0. Both of them are 0. Okay, so we need to, when we press on this, and we press when sorry, I'm having a hard time explaining. Not the best of teachers, I know. Excuse me. When we press on this, we're gonna compare. I'm gonna do it. Sorry. Comparison int. Okay. Click. New variable. Named variable. Sorry. Set variable. Math. Yeah. Add int. I'm running out of time anyway, so catch me in the yeah. I'm rushing. I know. I tried to rush it, but it just didn't work. So I'm gonna make a sixth video where I explained this very thoroughly, so we can understand what's going on and the math behind this puzzle to make it work. So join me next time, and I apologize for the confusion. I know I'm a newbie to these video tutorial things, but I'll get better in time. So see ya.